which came first, the chicken or the egg? Was that confidence boost because of the clothes that I was wearing and the expression that I had in myself and how I was dressing? Or was I confident enough already to dress how I wanted to dress? And did that allow me to dress the way I wanted to dress? Hi there, I'm Lisa Fox, and this is Lioness Tribe. And today I want to talk about clothing and confidence. So, I love me a bit of fashion. I love clothes. It's not even, do you know what? It's not that I love fashion. I just love clothes, and I love being creative with how I dress. And I love a bit of color. I love how clothes make me feel. Um, and when I put the right energy and thought into them, obviously, when you're wearing clothes that you love and that suit you well, it can give you incredible confidence. And the way I always talk about this, so I actually came to my love of fashion and my love of clothing through two adversities in my life. And the first one was that growing up, we did not get new clothes. We did not have the money for new clothes. There were too many children in the house and not enough money, as was the case with lots of Irish families in the 80s. And so we would get these black bin liner sacks full of clothes. A lot of the time it would come from my aunt's neighbour up in Dublin. And she had the most fabulous clothes, but obviously by the time we would get them, they'd be out of fashion or, you know, uh, just they might not always suit us. She was, she was a couple of years older than us, so the sizes would vary, whatever. But we would get clothes from her. We get clothes from other sources as well. So there was always a mix match of like clothes that we received from various places, and of course we had some new clothes, but just not very often at all. So when you get a big bag of free clothes with that much variety of like you could be getting something from 10 years ago in the bag. And not that we would have had an awful lot of awareness about fashion at the time. I always knew what I liked, and I was always very, very clear about when I opened that bag, going through it. Yeah, yes, want that. No, don't want that. And whatever. So I got quite creative with that. The other adversity that I had, and I don't say suffered because I think adversities are always opportunities, but the other one that I had was that I am really, really short. So I'm 4'11". I'm the same height as Kylie Minogue, and Danny DeVito. The same height exactly as Danny DeVito. So, but so really short and really, really curvy. And curvy in the sense that, like, I suppose I'm not curvy in any other way except for I've got huge boobs, huge bazongas. Um, and yeah, it can be hard to fit those puppies into clothes. So again, I had to be quite creative with what I wore because not everything fit me. And my mother wasn't going to be bringing clothes to a tailor anytime soon. And I never took an interest in actually tailoring clothes myself. So I was just, always that it was just another sort of obstacle in my way when it came to clothes. Um, but I will say this: those adversities um, gave me a huge love of fashion and huge love of clothing and a huge love of being creative with clothing. And it really became part of my identity. I actually, because of the way that I dressed, because I had to dress, I had to, I couldn't just like follow the latest fashions because of both the fact that we didn't have the money for it, but also the fact that I just didn't fit clothes the same way everybody else did. I looked quite unique, and my clothing choices were quite different to everybody else. And I loved standing out, actually. Like, I loved standing out in that way, even though I was very, very shy in lots of ways, and went through, like, especially as a teenager, went through an awful phase where, like, I couldn't talk to anybody without getting really red in the face and like blushing and getting really shy. But even still, I felt like I could express my own sense of creativity and style through what I wore. And that was directly because of the adversities. Um, but people would notice me, and I actually didn't really know this. I kind of just thought that, you know, I didn't really notice so much the way other people dressed, and I didn't really notice that other people noticed how I dressed until other family members would, or friends would, point it out to me. Like, I remember, I'll never forget, one day I was walking down the street with my mother, and I was wearing like these, like, I don't know what they're called, but they're runners. They're like boxer runners. I think like the high top, Adidas, and they were beautiful. I loved them. And I don't know what else. Probably like yellow trousers, and I have like some sort of weird t-shirt thing. I don't know what I was wearing, but my mother was like kind of going, people are looking at you, Lisa. And I was like, what? What do you mean people are looking at me? I thought there was something wrong. And then she's like, no, no, no. I don't think they're looking at you like there's something wrong. But I see people admiring your clothes. And I was like, but that gave me, like, as I started to kind of go, oh yeah, okay, they are actually, and and then people would compliment me sometimes, especially when I got older, on my clothes. It did give me an extraordinary boost in confidence, right? But here's the thing, and this is my main point about it today. Like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Was that confidence boost because of the clothes that I was wearing and the expression that I had in myself and how I was dressing? Or was I confident enough already to dress how I wanted to dress? And did that allow me to dress the way I wanted to dress? And it's a question that I have never been able to answer, because on any given day it could be either. It could be either one of those things. But I will say this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one it was. It doesn't matter whether, the clothes gave me confidence or whether I had the confidence to wear the clothes. Because now I use it as a tool, right? When I am feeling not myself or feeling just a bit blah, I will just give what I'm wearing a little bit of extra attention. I'll just dress up a bit. And I know that that's a surefire, quick way for me to actually feel more confident about myself. And that might seem superficial, but I don't think it is, because sometimes we have to work from the outside in, and then other times we have to work from the inside out, depending on what we're going through at the time. And so for me, I don't see anything wrong with actually just going from the outside in when I need to and going, oh, just don't feel great. And then just going, okay, just need to switch it up, give a little bit more attention to what I'm wearing, put a little bit more thought into it, present myself the way I want to feel, and then I end up feeling like that. And so it's a win-win. And then there are other times when I just feel on top of the fucking world, and I'm like, and I express that through what I wear, and I have way more fun with what I'm wearing and get really more creative with it. And not only does that give me more confidence, but it gives other people more inspiration. And people, like, I always refer back to, like, when I was teaching in person classes, performing arts to children. And of course, when I was going out to teach, I would want to be well presented, so I always put a little bit of thought into what I wore. And because I was told so many times that a lot of the mothers that would come in would be like, Lisa, oh my God, where did you get that? Where can I find what you're wearing? Your style is so amazing. Oh, I need to up my game. Oh, I'm just so inspired by what you're wearing. I'm going to start making a bit more of an effort. And so like that, when you have that confidence to dress the way you want, it has a ripple effect on other people around you because it's fun as well. It's a really fun way to express yourself. It's a really fun way to actually get into a more confident vibe. Um, and here's the other thing about um, clothing and confidence. It's it really is for me a law of attraction tool, right? I think, and we all know this. If you know anything about the law of attraction, what you focus on grows, right? So, like, if I'm focusing on, you know, growing my confidence through clothing, or focusing on presenting myself well with my clothes and my clothing choices, and giving that a little bit more thought and attention and love than I normally would, I know that from a law of attraction point of view, I end up getting more from that. I end up feeling better about that. I end up attracting more of that those good vibes to me, in the sense that I I feel like if I dress well today, I feel more like dressing well tomorrow. I feel more like presenting myself as much as I can as myself in the best possible way, more and more and more the more I do it. So from a law of attraction point of view, it really, really brings the vibe up. And I will talk about most recently my experience with this, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. I have been breastfeeding, and I'm still breastfeeding, although I think I'm drying up now. I stopped feeding the child during the day, and now I'm not convinced there's anything in there at all. Even at night time, I'm like, am I just a soother? But anyway, um, when I was breastfeeding during the day, I always had to wear the maternity bras. And anybody who has ever breastfed knows that there's no joy in maternity bras. They're the frumpiest fucking things on the face of the earth. For me, I suppose when you start off, and other people's experience might be different. If you have smaller boobs, maybe you don't feel like this. But like I'm starting off with really big boobs, and I just think when you're breastfeeding and your boobs are that bit bigger and you're wearing this bra that doesn't really have as much support as what you're used to, you just end up feeling a bit matronly and a bit frumpy. And and also the kind of clothes that you have to wear when you're feeding throughout the day. Like what for me, my uniform was a pair of leggings, a vest, and a jumper over the vest, so that I could have easy access. Lift up the jumper, pull down the vest and the maternity bra, and there, Bob's your uncle, Nelly's your aunt. And but it just, I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel great. Okay, sure, when I was going, because I'm all my work is online these days. When I would be appearing and doing a class or a talk or anything like that, I'd make sure that from here up I was looking fabulous, and I had lots of lovely hairbands because, again, with having a small baby, you don't get to wash your hair as often as you want to. But like, so I'd have like cool hairbands, nice earrings, bit of makeup, and look okay from here. But like if you had a nice color jumper on, that would do the job. But like walking around, walking down to the shop, like going for a walk, seeing people, I didn't feel like myself, and it wasn't the best time in my life for my confidence around my how I my appearance. And also, I suppose when you add to that, like, I think I had a slight, just teeny tiny bit of body dysmorphia as well because of it, because I was covered up all the time and covering up all the time. Because my body has changed since I had my second baby, who was, I told you at the beginning of this, I'm 4'11" and quite petite. Apart from the boobs, I'm quite petite. But my baby, when she was born a week and a half early, by elective C-section, was 9 pounds 3 ounces. So she was a big baba. And she would have been probably 10 pounds or more if she'd gone full term. Um, but there, that affects your body, and I have that thing with the muscles, when your muscles in your belly are usually down like this. Mine are gone out like this, and I have to give a little bit of, I think I need to go to the physio. But anyway, I've got this thing where, when you have a pot belly, but it's like at the bottom of your belly. But no, I've got a pot belly at the top of my belly. And I'm used to having quite a flat stomach. God help me. Uh, but you know what I mean? Like, so like I've been feeling like, oh God, like I just want to like reveal that part of myself. And so it was affecting how I was dressing and how I was feeling about myself. But actually, so at the weekend, I decided I was going to just do my little trick of working from the outside in. And I was like, I'm going to go shopping because the shops are open again. And I was like, right, I'm just going to buy some new bits and see if it makes me feel a bit better and dress a little bit more in my own style. And kind of try and get back to myself a little bit, even if I have changed, even if I am a bit different. Maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am. And trying on clothes kind of, I thought it might help me with that, and it did. I bought a beautiful new dress. I bought some new tops, including this one with gorgeous sleeves. Look at that. Look at those sleeves. Ooh. But and it's lovely. It's a lovely top on the bottom as well. I dressed a couple of kind of t-shirty tops. Really just lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. A little, oh yeah, shirt. Summery stuff. And but just even trying on stuff and kind of trying on more fitted things that I have been wearing in a while. I was like, nobody can see that little pop belly that I'm talking about at the top. Nobody can see that. That's just okay. It's there for sure, and I do need to do probably a bit of exercise or something to get it all back into place. But I was like, no, I look great. I look really great. So bought the clothes, and I'm wearing the clothes like a mad thing, and going around feeling I'm myself again. I feel so much better. I'm not wearing a maternity bra. Okay, my boobs are a little bit fuller in my usual bras than they would have been, but they fit. My I'm just like holding my boobs as I talk about them. But my bras fit, and I'm not wearing maternity bra, and I'm not having to pull up and down all day. And it's just making me feel so much better. I just feel so much better. And I was in such a funk with my clothes. So I just knew, and it's not that I had forgotten, but I knew it was going to be a while before I was going to be able to just get back to myself in that way. And I sort of made my peace with it, but still not feeling brilliant. And then that small tweak of going, no, okay, now I can wear my own bras. Now I can just wear some clothes that I like wearing, and it's just made a world of a difference. And I feel like myself again and feel confident again. And yeah, just a few new clothes and bam, felt great. And I think that the thing about this is that everybody can do that for themselves. It's not that you have to spend a shit ton of money. You could even like one of the other things that I did was go into my wardrobe and pulled out like I do need to do a full declutter of my wardrobe. But I went back in and just pulled out pieces that I still really like and still fit me really well and still look great on me, and just added a few new pieces to it, just to kind of spark that bit of creativity again. And I feel better. But sometimes the problem might be that I don't know, like for some reason or other, you've put on weight or whatever, but you still deserve to go through your wardrobe, see what fits, add a few pieces that fit you really well. Even if you're in the process of losing weight again and you're like, there's no point in me buying loads of new clothes now at this size because I don't want to stay at this size. That's fine. But you can still treat yourself like somebody that you actually love. Right? If you think about if it was your sister or if it was your best friend and they were going through that period in their lives where they're like, I've put on a bit of weight, I don't feel good about myself. You would want for them, you number one, you'd look at them and you go, you look great anyway, right? Or yes, sure, maybe you do need to lose a few pounds, but treating yourself a little bit better will make you feel better, and wearing clothes that look nice on you instead of just wearing any old baggy thing and waiting for, the magical day to come when the weight will be gone. you're actually much more likely to lose the weight. If weight is the problem, you're much more likely to lose the weight if you present yourself as well as you can in the way that you are right now, in this moment, and look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? Even if I have a little bit of weight on, I fucking look good. I look really well. Okay? Because when we feel better about ourselves, we're much more likely to manifest what we actually want, right? And that's exactly like, okay, my issue wasn't weight, but it's exactly what I went through in a different way. It's like, okay, I actually, since I started to, since I pulled out the clothes that I like again, since I went and did that shop, and I'm starting to feel better in myself, now I feel much more inclined to actually book a session with the physio and get that little issue with my tummy sorted out. Whereas before, I was wearing the baggy jumpers and the maternity bras, and I just felt like crap. And there was nothing in me that actually wanted to go to a physio. Now I still do need to book that physio appointment, but you get what I mean. So thank you so much for listening today. Remember, confidence plus faith equals success. You got this, mama. Just go out there like your big badass self and present yourself the best motherfucking way that you can. And you will feel better no matter what. And when you feel better, you do better. When you feel better, you get better things. When you feel better, you manifest better. Okay? So do it. Do it for you. Bye. Mwah.